New Second Planets White Paper released July 26, 2010. A Second Planets White Paper summing up the findings of interviews with 18 of the world's leading IT business is offered now to download from the Planets website. Carrying out planets in libraries and archives. 6 July 2010 Work is underway to carry out planets in a variety of national libraries and archives and is described in a series of planets case studies. Digital Conservation in Federal Government. 6 July 2010 A report summarizing the findings of over 70 interviews into how civil servants create, share, handle and maintain information essential to their work is now readily available. Planets Time Capsule Deposit May 12, 2010 On Tuesday, May 18, 2010, planets will transfer a time capsule to draw prevalent attention to the physical and electronic obstacles around maintaining digital information for THGE long-lasting. Planets Market Research White Paper launched, May 11, 2010 A white paper summing up the findings of the Planets Market Survey is readily available now to download from the Planets website. Planets testbed is now open for external users, public beta, March 1, 2010 with the release of version 1. Users are invited to execute experiments on the behavior of digital items and tools in the general public beta variation of testbed. The planets were believed by Ptolemy to orbit the Earth in deferent and epicycle movements. Though the idea that the planets orbited the Sun had actually been recommended sometimes, it was not up until the 17th century that this view was supported by evidence from the very first telescopic huge observations, performed by Galileo Galilei. As observational tools improved, astronomers saw that, like Earth, the planets turned around slanted axes, and some share such features as ice caps and seasons. Given that the dawn of the space age, close observation by probes has discovered that Earth and the other planets share characteristics such as volcanism, hurricanes, tectonics, and even hydrology. Because 1992, through the discovery of numerous extrasolar planets, planets around other stars, scientists are starting to comprehend that planets throughout the Milky Way galaxy share characteristics in common with our own. Extreme heat. Extreme cold. Extreme pressure. Scorching lava flows, and ice volcanoes. Interior tides. Asteroids filled with gold. Planetary scientist Dr. Sabina Stanley cracks the surface to reveal the beating heart of planets and what produced them from the foundation of swirling cosmic dust, pebbles, and gas to coalesced planetesimal stars to the worlds we see today. We're only starting to check out the secretive interiors of planets, where amazing wonders await. Earth, from area, appears like a glittering gem suspended in an inky, unlimited stretch. But this peaceful image masks the splendid and unstable interior forces that make life possible for countless species on the surface. The placid appearances of our surrounding planets similarly belie their powers and science fiction-worthy functions, like diamond rain. Drill down countless miles through our developed environments and soil, sand, water, rock, and minerals to the external, generally liquid iron with nickel, and inner core, combing across intense convection, roiling metals, hidden continents, and shifting tectonic plates. Discover the impacts of magnetism, rotation, and seismic activity seen and picked up in the forms of auroras, typhoons, volcanoes, and earthquakes, to name a few symptoms. Our neighboring planets boast their own intense forces, together with moons covered by frozen oceans that may one day expose extraterrestrial life. Check out a captivating and wacky meander through the interiors of the planets around us and through a life in science. Come for the deep knowledge of how planets operate, but stay for the wonderful asides about buddies, the unforeseen pleasures of white chocolate in pate, and why Venus is an awful planet. Mike Brown, Caltech Center for Relative Planetary Development, author of How I Killed Pluto and Why It Had It Coming, a mesmerizing look into the inner secrets of our own planet and its siblings. I couldn't put it down. Alana Mitchell, science journalist, playwright, and author of The Spinning Magnet, The Electromagnetic Force That Produced the Modern World and Might Ruin It. Dr. Stanley's Chronicles of Mankind's Planetary Expeditions is an exciting and friendly guide to what makes planets tick, inside and out. Stanley draws on research study from her own lab and those of other leading researchers to share spectacular accounts of what forces and products are at work inside planets, and how they impact their surface areas and environments. She likewise clarifies the secrets of our stunning, however often fierce, solar system, leaving us with a deeper gratitude of the preciousness of life on our home planet. Lisa J. is a terrific read that's filled with the marvel and delight of scientific discoveries connected to the hidden Earth underfoot, the planetary menagerie in our planetary system, and beyond. Stanley's insights likewise manage a window into discovery-based science itself, how we understand what we know about both near and remote worlds, providing a fabulous on-ramp connecting what planetary researchers do to what they've discovered. C. Bailey, College of William and Mary, Geological Society of America Design Boom. Checkouts Team Labs Planets Tokyo. New additions to their Body Immersive Museum. Team Lab Planets Tokyo is the digital art museum founded by the International Art Cumulative Team Lab, situated in Toyosu, Tokyo. The idea behind Planets is body immersive, interactive setups that bring people physically inside the creativity of Team Lab. Art has constantly privileged sight over other senses, and through the various installations in Planets, Team Lab aims to transform art from something to be knowledgeable aesthetically to something to be experienced with the entire body. Excerpt from the text. The term world is ancient, with ties to history, science, myth, and faith. The planets were initially seen by many early cultures as divine, or as emissaries of thge gods. As scientific knowledge advanced, human perception of the planets altered, including a number of diverse objects. Even now there is no uncontested meaning of what a planet is. In 2006, the IAU formally embraced a resolution defining planets within the solar system. Planets, Conservation, and Long-Lasting Access Through Networked Providers, is a 4-year job co-funded by the European Union under the 6th Framework Programme to resolve core digital preservation difficulties. The primary goal for Planets is to construct useful services and tools to ensure long-term access to our digital, cultural, and scientific possessions. Planets began on June 1, 2006. Kepler records the discrete signals of distant planets' decreases in brightness that take place when planets pass in front of, or transit, their stars, much like the May 9 Mercury transit of our Sun. Since the discovery of the first planets outside our solar system more than 20 years ago, researchers have turned to a tiresome, one-by-one process of validating presumed planets. An assisted journey through the inner functions of Earth, the cloaked mysteries of other planets in our planetary system, and beyond. Extreme cold. Extreme pressure. Poisonous gases. Interior tides. Asteroids filled with gold. In what's hidden within planets. Planetary researcher Dr. Sabina Stanley fractures the surface area to expose the whipping heart of planets and what developed them from the building blocks of swirling cosmic dust, pebbles, and gas to coalesced planetesimal starts to the worlds we see today. We're just starting to explore the secretive interiors of planets, where breathtaking wonders wait for. Team Lab Planets Tokyo is the digital art museum established by the international art collective Team Lab, located in Toyosu, Tokyo. The concept behind Planets is body immersive, interactive setups that bring individuals physically inside the imagination of Team Lab. Art has constantly privileged sight over other senses, and through the various installations in Planets, Team Lab intends to change art from something to be skilled visually to something to be experienced with the entire body. Visitors can anticipate to walk through knee-high water and lie beneath a sky of digital flowers. Excerpt from the text. 6. TeamLab Borderless is gone, however TeamLab Planets is still around. We bid farewell to TeamLab Borderless at the end of August, but not all is lost. The good news is TeamLab Planets has actually extended its stay and will now be around till the end of 2023. At Planets, TeamLab's immersive digital art setups are bigger, set in spacious rooms for a more immersive experience. Plus, it's got a brand new garden area along with a jaw-dropping vegan ramen restaurant that's just out of this world. Excerpt from the text. 15 fantastic reasons you must go to Tokyo now. 6. TeamLab Borderless is gone, however TeamLab Planets is still around. We bid farewell to TeamLab Borderless at the end of August, however not all is lost. Thankfully TeamLab Planets has actually extended its stay and will now be around till the end of 2023. At Planets, TeamLab's immersive digital art setups are larger, set in roomy rooms for a more immersive experience. Plus, it's got a brand new garden location along with a jaw-dropping vegan ramen dining establishment that's just out of this world. Excerpt from the text. The Kenneth C. Griffin checking out the Planets Gallery probes the science and history of our expedition of planets, moons, and other things in our planetary system. This exhibition informs the stories of the variety of worlds circling our sun and how exploring those worlds helps improve our own understanding of Earth. Exploring the planets makes use of research study from researchers in the Museum's Center for Earth and Planetary Researches, who are actively involved in current planetary missions. In the newly validated batch of planets, OMSAT 550 could be rocky planets like Earth, based upon their size. 9 of these orbit in Theris' sun's habitable zone, which is the distance from a star where orbiting planets can have surface area temperatures that allow liquid water to pool. With the addition of these 9, 21 exoplanets now are understood to be members of this unique group. Beyond Neptune, a more recent class of smaller worlds called dwarf planets rule, consisting of longtime preferred Pluto. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft checked out Pluto in 2015, and is currently checking out the Kuiper belt beyond Pluto. The other dwarf planets are Ceres, Makemake, Haumea, and Eris. Ceres, by the way, is the Onal dwarf planet in the inner planetary system. It lies in the main asteroid belt in between Mars and Jupiter. In 10 planets, objects can be sentient and might rebel versus the unhappy human household to which they are connected. An investigator of sorts discovers clues to buried secrets by studying the noses of his customers, which he insists are concealed maps. A weak bacterium in a human intestinal tract gains consciousness when a psychotropic drug is ingested. Monsters and aliens abound, but in the fiction of Yuri Herrera, knowing who is the beast and who the alien is a difficult proposal. In 10 planets, Herrera's consistent themes: the mutability of borders, the wounds and legacy of colonial violence, and a deep love of storytelling in all its types are checked out with evident radiance and pleasure. This speculative collection draws motivation from Melville, Jorge Luis Borges, Philip K. Dick and others to produce contemplative, emotive, and richly thought-of stories. The New York Times book review body: the characters that occupy Yuri Herrera's surprising brand new story collection live in imagined futures that expose the strangeness and instability of today. Drawing on science fiction, noir, and the philosophical parables of Jorge Luis Borges's fictions and Italo Calvino's cosmicomics, these really short stories are an inspired extension of this significant writer's work. In 10 planets, objects can be sentient and may rebel versus the dissatisfied human household to which they are attached. An investigator of sorts finds hints to buried secrets by studying the noses of his customers, which he insists are hidden maps. A meager bacterium in a human intestinal tract gains consciousness when a psychotropic drug is ingested. Beasts and aliens are plentiful, however in the fiction of Yuri Herrera, knowing who is the monster and who the alien is a tricky proposal. In 10 planets, Herrera's constant styles: the mutability of borders, the wounds and tradition of colonial violence, and a deep love of storytelling in all its types are checked out with evident radiance and delight. Share title: sale price $15. 00 Purchase at Bookshop IndieBound Barnes & Noble Amazon. Body the characters that occupy Yuri Herrera's surprising brand new story collection populate envisioned futures that reveal the strangeness and instability of today. Making use of science fiction, noir, and the philosophical parables of Jorge Luis Borges' fictions and Italo Calvino's cosmicomics, these really narratives are an inspired extension of this considerable writer's work. In 10 Planets, items can be sentient and might rebel versus the dissatisfied human household to which they are connected. An investigator of sorts discovers clues to buried secrets by studying the noses of his customers, which he firmly insists are covered maps. A meager bacterium in a human intestine gains consciousness when a psychotropic drug is consumed. Beasts and aliens abound, but in the fiction of Yuri Herrera, knowing who is the monster and who the alien is a challenging proposition. In 10 Planets, Herrera's consistent themes: the mutability of borders, the injuries and tradition of colonial violence, and a deep love of storytelling in all its types are explored with apparent brilliance and delight. The characters that populate Yuri Herrera's surprising brand new story collection populate envisioned futures that reveal the strangeness and instability of today. Drawing on science fiction, noir, and the philosophical parables of Jorge Luis Borges' fictions and Italo Calvino's cosmicomics, these really short stories are an inspired extension of this substantial author's work. In 10 Planets, things can be sentient and might rebel versus the unhappy human household to which they are attached. A detective of sorts finds clues to buried secrets by studying the noses of his clients, which he firmly insists are hidden maps. A meager germs in a human intestinal tract gains consciousness when a psychotropic drug is consumed. Monsters and aliens abound, however, in the fiction of Yuri Herrera, knowing who is the monster and who the alien is a challenging proposition. In 10 Planets, Herrera's consistent styles: the mutability of borders, the wounds and legacy of colonial violence, and a deep love of storytelling in all its kinds are explored with apparent sparkle and pleasure. Praise shortlisted for the 2023 Ursula K. Le Guin Reward for Fiction. A Southwest Evaluation Must-Read Book of 2023. Highly original set of trips to imaginary worlds that shed unexpected light on our own. Liz Braswell, The Wall Street Journal. Reading 10 Planets requires not only suspension of shock but surrender of control. Both are challenging, both deserve it. Nobody composes like Yuri Herrera, and it would be a shame not to travel with him as far as his creativity can go. Lily Meyer, NPR. Org. Herrera's composing relocations through different signs up with ease, some familiar, some astonishing. All of it not likely and stunning. In 10 Planets, Herrera shifts from the fantastical, beasts and aliens, to the eerily materialist. A germs attains life, like a young boy browsing the pages of a cherished comic book, with pleasure and conviction. Johnny Diamond, Literary Center. Shortlisted for the 2023 Ursula K. Le Guin Reward for Fiction. A Southwest Evaluation Must-Read Book of 2023. Highly initial set of voyages to fictional worlds that shed unanticipated light on our own. Liz Braswell, The Wall Street Journal. Reading 10 Planets needs not only suspension of disbelief but surrender of control. Both are challenging, both are worth it. No one composes like Yuri Herrera, and it would be a shame not to take a trip with him as far as his imagination can go. Lily Meyer, NPR. Org. Herrera's writing relocations through various registers with ease, some familiar, some astonishing. All of it not likely and lovely. In 10 Planets, Herrera shifts from the fantastical, monsters and aliens, to the eerily materialist. A bacterium accomplishes sentience, like a kid browsing the pages of a cherished comic book, with pleasure and conviction. Johnny Diamond, Literary Center.